Okay, so here goes. In the absence of any direct contact with other human beings besides my family and the odd person down the street or around the corner, I'm going to try and record a few videos that may spark some interest and discussion and some typing underneath if I stick this up on YouTube. So here's a thought experiment that occurred to me. I follow a bunch of channels on YouTube, especially now that there's nothing much else to do. And one of those, Forgotten Weapons, is a interesting one on, of all things, guns, mostly guns. And no interest really in guns other than just for geek purposes. But I saw something that made me think. There's a weapon that was developed in 1964 by would have been then the very relatively early days of communist China, Mao, and it was a silenced pistol. And the guy was quite excited to be reviewing it on there. Ian, I'll leave a link below on YouTube here to his channel, but it made me think. It's like, why is communist China, I'm sure with very little in the way of resources in 1964, developing a silenced pistol? What does it say about China? When you read further or when you research further, you find out this pistol was issued to senior party officials and senior military only, given the expense, I'm sure, to the economy, and wasn't widely dispersed. It was, I think, shared with the North Vietnamese as well. But I guess what you think about is, okay, what's a silenced pistol needed for? Why is a senior leader of the Communist Party in China needing a silenced pistol? Why are the senior military leaders needing a silenced pistol? It's a short-range weapon, and seemingly used for people to dispatch somebody who they can walk right up to in silence. There are pistols used by our military, and I'm sure other militaries, and other weapons that are silenced, or there's sniper weapons. There are things like that. There are weapons used by, say, downed pilots behind enemy lines with silencers on them because they're in enemy territory, that kind of thing. And or we drop things to the guerrillas that are fighting for the same cause as us in the wars, and some of those I think might have been silenced too. But in general, this is like Pierre Trudeau and his cabinet ministers, or the senior leaders of the Canadian military, or say the American military, the President of the United States and his generals walking around carrying silenced pistols because they might need to dispatch with one of their peers. What does it say about a country that would prioritize something like that? Is it that different now? They're doing things right now, we're finding out. They're not transparent with us. They don't share our values. And yet here we are making them part of our first world, certainly dependent on them for much. And with COVID-19, it's become pretty clear that, some of that has major repercussions. If they're not transparent with us, if they're not cooperating with the World Health Organization, then we have a problem, don't we? Anyway, comments below. What do you think that says about them? What should we do? And with Canada in particular, we've seen now they'll scoop our people up off the street if we take one of theirs into custody, and with no reason, just randomly, whoever, So we're experiencing some pretty negative implications of the way they operate. So something to think about. Just wondering what your comments might be. Have a good one.